No need to venture far. Travel back 300,000 years, and you would encounter an Earth transformed beyond recognition. Absent are the cities, the highways, the lights, and the satellites. Just ice, volcanoes, boundless forests, and winds that wail ceaselessly day and night. This was not a world of humanity. It was a realm governed by the forces of nature. Europe was entombed beneath the icy embrace of glaciers. Africa smoldered under the relentless grip of arid deserts. The vast Siberian plains extended into icy seas, where woolly mammoths, ancient rhinos, and saber-toothed cats roamed like echoes of a distant past. Homo sapiens had only just made their entrance. Petite, devoid of claws and fangs, equipped solely with a sharp mind and two unadorned hands. We found ourselves not at the pinnacle of the food chain. We were mere shadows, yet we endured. To grasp the reality of those savage initial moments of our existence, you must first encounter the beings that once dominated this world, the ones that time has sought to forget. Section 2. Paleontology, the colossal bovines of Africa. Throughout the African savannas today, one can observe antelope, zebras, and wild buffalo roaming freely. Yet, 200 millennia passed, a singular being reigned supreme over all others. Weighty beyond measure, adorned with colossal, scythe-like curved horns. Paleontology. This was not a direct ancestor of contemporary cattle. It was part of an ancient, distinct lineage, more massive, ancient, and crafted to endure a primeval nightmare. Paleontology towered at nearly 2 meters in height and boasted a weight double that of a contemporary bull. Its horns could extend to 2 meters in length, curving outward, reminiscent of the battle horns of an ancient deity. As it traversed the savanna, even the lions maintained a respectful distance. Upon the rugged stones of the Sahara, ancient humans adorned the surfaces with paleontology in shades of charcoal and red earth, not merely to document, but to evoke memory, to instill fear, or to plead for mercy. In the days when humans were mere infants, Paleontology stood as the colossal figure that compelled them to gaze upward. Section 3. Macrauchenia, the improbable fusion of camel and elephant, defying the laws of nature. Envision a being that seems like a whimsical jest of the natural world, possessing the body of a camel, the neck of a giraffe, and a nose reminiscent of a baby elephant. Behold Macrauchenia, the strange creature that once reigned over South America. Neither a horse, nor an elephant, nor a camel. Macrauchenia emerged from a distinct evolutionary lineage known as the Lydopterna, beings that thrived in isolation on a wandering continent, evolving in utter seclusion for millions of years. Its peculiar nose, protruding from the center of its visage, served as its hidden advantage. It had the ability to sense danger from a distance, manage body temperature in the sweltering tropics, and perhaps even assist in foraging beneath the waves. For centuries, the peculiar shape left scientists in a state of bewilderment. In 2017, paleontologists made a groundbreaking discovery by unlocking ancient DNA from fossils found in Patagonia, uncovering that its nearest living relatives are horses. Yet, regardless of its oddities or cunning, Macrauchenia was unable to evade the most lethal hunter on the planet, humanity. And as Homo sapiens made their entrance into South America, the journey of Macrauchenia came to a close. Section 4. Nothrotheriops, the colossal ground sloth that roamed North America. Before sloth transformed into an emblem of adorable lethargy, it embodied something far more grand in the most literal sense. Nothrotheriops, the colossal ground sloth, towered over 2 meters in height and once traversed the arid landscapes we now recognize as Arizona and Nevada. It neither dangled from branches nor grazed on the foliage of the woods. It ambled gently through the stony valleys, grazing on yucca, cactus, and the perilous edges of agave. Our understanding comes not from mere speculation, but from the evidence found in fossilized dung. Within the depths of the Rampart Cave in the Grand Canyon, researchers unearthed coprolites brimming with plant material. This was not a mere dung creature. It was a master of desert survival. Yet, The most astonishing aspect of Nuthrotheriops isn't its diet, but rather the era in which it existed. Certain coprolite samples date back merely 11,000 years, indicating that this colossal creature roamed the Earth alongside the earliest humans in the Americas. There existed neither asteroid nor volcano, only the presence of stone-tipped spears and the art of group hunting tactics. And that sufficed. At times, the end of a species unfolds quietly, without a dramatic bang. At times, a single deliberate step in the wrong direction is all it requires. Section 5. Civatherium. The stag adorned with majestic antlers. Long before elephants, buffalo, or lions claimed dominion over the grasslands, there existed Civatherium, a being that did not conquer through swiftness or brutality, but rather with a celestial presence that could compel even humans to kneel in reverence. Civatherium towered at over 3 meters and tipped the scales at more than a ton, adorned with 2 pairs of impressive horns. One set stands tall and elegant, reminiscent of a giraffe, while another is coiled and formidable, akin to the majestic antlers of a moose. It resembled a being intricately depicted on the surfaces of a Hindu temple. Indeed, in the times of ancient India, it was so. They referred to it as the beast of Shiva, the deity embodying both destruction and creation. It thrived in arid woodlands stretching from North Africa to the Indian subcontinent, subsisting on tender branches, leafy foliage, and resilient grasses. A revered creature, yet one grounded in practicality. And then it disappeared. No epic confrontation, no grand extinction, only quietude. What endures are the intricate carvings on stone, the majestic temple statues, and possibly a whisper of its lineage in the giraffes we see today. We vanquished the deity of the wilderness, and now, what remains is the echo of respect. Section 6. Gigantopithecus, the colossal ape of the dense woodland. In the lush rainforests of ancient Southeast Asia, a magnificent creature roamed, towering twice the height of a man and weighing a staggering half a ton, gliding silently like a whisper through the dense foliage of the towering trees. It was called Gigantopithecus, the most colossal ape to have ever roamed the planet. Only fossilized teeth and jaw fragments have been discovered. A complete skeleton has eluded us thus far. Yet, even these remnants are sufficient to piece together a colossal being, one that feasted on bamboo, ground roots, and existed in serene isolation, akin to a forest monk forged from sinew and stillness. It was never pursued by anyone. There is no proof that it has ever caused harm to anything. Gigantopithecus was not a beast. It stood as the final gentle giant of the ape lineage. Yet, legends show no mercy. They referred to it as the Yeti, Bigfoot. They cast their fears upon it, for nothing instills greater terror than something vast and mute. As the forest disappeared and Homo erectus roamed the earth, Gigantopithecus chose not to resist. It quietly retreated into the shadows, never to re-emerge. A chapter closed. There was no roar, no bloodshed, just the profound silence of a being that understood the art of existence without the need for domination. Art 7. Varambi Titan, the colossal avian that was bound to the earth. Long before ostriches roamed and humans set foot on the island, the Varambi Titan stood as the living emblem of Madagascar. Standing over 3 meters tall and weighing nearly 1 ton, it was the largest bird to have ever roamed the earth. It failed to take off. It required neither claws nor fangs. Its form served as its instrument of power. Legs resembling sturdy stone pillars supported its immense structure. A petite head, a robust neck. Every step resonated like a rhythmic pulse across the vast expanse. No predator would even think of challenging it, for none were large enough to attempt such a feat. Varambi refrained from hunting. It flourished by consuming fruits, leaves, and tough seeds. A colossal figure, a vegetarian, moving gracefully across the grasslands like a benevolent god. Yet, the arrival of humans changed everything. They may not have been larger, but they possessed a fierce intensity, cunning snares, and an insatiable appetite. In just a matter of a few centuries, the colossal bird had vanished, not due to its frailty, but because it failed to comprehend the magnitude of what had come. A novel breed of hunter, a creature that moved on two legs, equipped with intellect and a yearning hunger. Part 8. Homo, the saber-toothed cat that roamed the earth. When one thinks of the saber-toothed cat, the image that often comes to mind is that of Smilodon, the stealthy predator armed with its formidable, dagger-like fangs. Yet, a Smilodon stood as a solitary predator. Then Homo emerged as a formidable force across the globe. Clever, swift, and skilled in coordinated pursuit. Its blades are shorter, thicker, not for stabbing, but for slicing cleanly through the throat. A single cut sufficed. No brute force, only precision. Homo was not confined to the feline realm of just one continent. Fossils of this cat have been discovered throughout North America, Europe, and Asia, ranging from the icy expanses of Alaska to the arid deserts of Africa. Yet, what rendered it genuinely horrifying? It collaborated. Similar to wolves, unlike cats, within certain caves, traces linger of a momentous meeting. Homo erectus, wielding stone axes and fire, confronts Homo equipped with saber teeth and strategic pack tactics. Who emerged victorious? We are uncertain. Just this. Homo disappeared, while Homo erectus continued to shape history. Part 9. Metridiocarus, the warthog armed with blades for horns. Do not be deceived by the term pig. Metridiocarus was far from a common farm hog. It was far from your typical wild boar. It emerged from the heart of the African blaze, a creature that traversed the parched deserts and burnt savannas, brandishing two sets of tusks twisted like curved blades, stretching skyward as if to deliver a dire message etched in ivory. What about those tusks? Not for display. They were instruments of destruction, crafted for piercing, cutting, and fending off mortality. In locations such as Oldaway Gorge, where Homo erectus once roamed in pursuit, Metridiocarus stood as prey, yet was never an easy target. Towering at over 1 meter and tipping the scales at nearly 250 kilograms, it put up a fight when trapped. A single strike could fracture a femur. With a mere twist of the head, a careless hunter's belly could be torn asunder. It consumed all desiccated roots, resilient grass, and even decaying flesh. Survival was indifferent to etiquette. What about humans? They were well aware not to underestimate it. Section 10. Mealania, the armored turtle of the ocean realm. Not a marine turtle, not a soft inhabitant of the pond. Mealania stood as a formidable behemoth, stretching over 2 meters in length and weighing in at half a ton. Its impressive frame was adorned with horns jutting from its skull, while its tail bore bone spikes reminiscent of a medieval mace. Its head stood as a bastion, with eyes shielded by hardened bone. A stout, robust neck that remained steadfast, for it had no reason to withdraw. Its tail? Lengthy and encased in armor, culminating in a menacing spiked club, poised to strike at the visage of any assailant. It failed to operate. It stood firm. On distant islands, such as Lord Howe and New Caledonia, Mealania thrived in tranquility for millions of years. There are no predators, no necessity for evolution. Until the arrival of humanity. Humans introduced dogs, ignited fire, and awakened hunger. In their eyes, Mealania was no warrior. The meal was the simplest one to prepare on the island. Unhurried, grounded, and overly reliant on its seclusion. In the span of a few centuries, the spiked turtle disappeared from existence. Not due to its frailty, but rather because it had never encountered an adversary capable of laying traps. Section 11. Megaloceros, the majestic deer adorned with grand antlers, roamed the ancient forests of the Ice Age. Antlers stretch 3.6 meters wide, unfurling like time-worn branches amidst the morning mist. Megaloceros giganteus was more than merely a colossal deer. It stood as a vibrant testament to the Ice Age, a dynamic work of art brought to life. Towering at nearly 2.2 meters at the shoulder and tipping the scales at close to half a ton, It certainly didn't engage in battle like a rhino. It did not pursue its prey like a saber-tooth. It feasted on delicate grasses and gentle leaves, piercing the world with its mere existence. Upon the cave walls of Lascaux and Chauvet, our forebears adorned them with luminous antlers, resembling sacred artifacts. They didn't merely perceive prey, they beheld something worthy of reverence. Yet, reverence proved insufficient for its salvation. Megaloceros was pursued for its flesh, skin, and the prestige it brought. However, extinction was not solely the result of human actions. With the warming of the climate, forests began to take the place of the once expansive open plains. The splendid antlers, once emblematic of strength, transformed into a weighty encumbrance, too broad to navigate the thick forest, too cumbersome for a diminishing realm. As the final glaciers melted away, the tree-antler deer slipped into the realm of memory, bequeathing a profound silence and a void in the ancient imagination. Chapter 12.